SportSpek again this week. We are Matt, that's me, and I'm here with my partner, Mychal Kendricks. This week, from our favorite city in the United States, we had a lot of news come out. What city is this?
It's the most visited destination in all the United States.
It's the city of love, to be honest.
Cleveland.
All right, and we're not talking about Baker Mayfield this time.
Sadly not.
We're talking about Mychal with a Y, Kendricks, who might be related to you. What do you think, Anna?
So, yeah, technically he's my brother from another mother. We're not actually related, although that'd be kind of weird if we were. I don't know how that would work out genetically.
Yeah.
But the thing is before we get into this $1.2 million scandal, insider trading scandal, I want to talk about Mychal Kendricks and what basically made him get to this point. And I'm just guessing here. But he came from a low-income family in Houston. He ended up working his way through a boarding school, then to University of California, then eventually made Defensive Player of the Year in 2012, got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, I think it was 46th, got a hefty first-year salary at about $800,000, and then progressively made a lot of money throughout his career. So he's been with Philadelphia. He had been with Philadelphia for, I believe, 5 years.
Yeah, just signed with Cleveland.
And they just signed with Cleveland. So he's been making money. So what's going to make some guy give up his $20 million, this big lump salary throughout his whole career for $1.2 million? So we have no idea, but who helped him orchestrate this?
Yeah. So, as you just said, he had a safety cushion. All right, he had a lot of money to spend.
Quite a bit of a cushion, yeah. That's a great
quite a big cushion,
unless
he spent it, and we don't know about it.
That's
Maybe
a world-class cushion.
Maybe it's going to come out in reports that he didn't have any money.
Well, his Instagram, actually, the first, I think it was in 2015 when this whole thing was going on, posts a picture of a Rolls Royce key.
Oh.
So that's
for a guy that's $25 million, a Rolls Royce, that's pocket change.
It's still $500,000.
Yeah. Okay, maybe he got that from his insider trader deals.
Well, that's what I'm getting at here.
Okay, clever.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Regardless, so he had a friend who noticed that Mychal probably has a lot of money, Mychal with a Y. This guy's name is Mr. Sonoiki. Supposedly they're very good friends, and his credentials, you're going to love this. He finished Harvard.
Ooh, wait, can I guess? Where did he go to work? Did he go to work in finance?
Yeah, he finished finance, went to work in finance.
Okay, so big, let's see.
What else?
3% acceptance rate. Goldman Sachs. Did he go work for Goldman Sachs?
He worked for Goldman Sachs.
Oh, wait, was he an investment banker?
And he was an investment banker.
Of course he was. That's the generic.
Yep, that's the resume of anything that's ever happening illegal in this country in the financial district, okay? He left Goldman Sachs, Mr. Sonoiki. He opened a few brokerage accounts under his name. First mistake, that's actually how the SEC started tracking him.
I think Harvard would teach him better.
Yeah, you think so. And then he was able to get some money from a few people. One of that was Mychal Kendricks, who actually claims he didn't know anything about, these shady dealings of his, but he actually did know, considering all the text messages, which we'll get into in a second, that was sent between the two. Regardless, what Mr. Sonoiki did and told him was basically that he worked for Goldman Sachs and he knew 4 companies that were being acquired and merged into a bigger one that same year. And what they did was that they bought a few call options betting on the value of these companies. And of course, that $80,000 that Mr. Kendricks, Mychal with a Y, invested turned into this large sum of $1.2 million.
And a bunny.
They had returns of, it was between 70 to 300%.
So
unreal.
That is amazing in itself, but what I think is more amazing is normal brokers, when they're investing your money for you, they charge like a 2 and 20. So like basically 2% and then 20%.
Of course, they got to get something out of it.
Of course.
Right?
So what did his best friend from Harvard, what did he get in return for this $1.2 million?
Massive kickbacks of $10,000.
$10,000? Really?
He got $10,000. He got a few Eagles tickets. And
which is valuable.
Supposedly Mychal was able to hook him up with, not actually hook up, but meet some famous singer or something. I don't even know who it was. I didn't even care at that point.
Jail time, worth it.
Right? He makes some $1.2 million, and he gets just that. A, I don't believe it. B, if that happened, then I'm sorry, Harvard, you didn't teach this guy very well because he's not getting his money.
It doesn't make any sense, actually.
Okay.
Also, I think he paid one night like $5,000 for him to take a car ride from one location, like a 1,000-mile car ride or something like that, to an event that Michael was at and running, and basically just to pay for that, which makes no sense.
Still, though,
so, it's the wildest thing as to why he would ever want to do this, what would go on. But now, who's this Sonoyki character? Where did he come from? What's his deal? Why did he go work for Goldman Sachs? Because I looked online and it said he was a writer for Blackish. What's up with that?
He's a writer for Blackish. He made his money, from all his insider trader deals, and he decided to take a different turn in his life. But a little different background on him too. Was that he came from an immigrant family. And as both you and I know, immigrants, they come in, they want to work hard in America, which is fantastic. They want to go in, they want to make money for their family. They will go through the whole shebang, which he did. He went through Harvard, fantastic. Goldman Sachs, probably the best job you can get. In finance, it's investment banking. He worked his butt off probably for 3 years. They made him, and he made a bunch of money. Then he wanted to make more money, and then he went to screenwriting, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie,
it's cool.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
I mean, he's got to have a talent because I like to write personally, and that'd be pretty cool to be a screenwriter. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the thing about that actually is they asked him why he ended up going into finance when he actually in Harvard he was really good at writing. They had said that he wanted to go into that, but he felt that pressure from his family to get out there and make a lot of money, and that was just the one reason he didn't. But he could have eventually. He could have just avoided this whole scandal and just would have went into writing. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, really in that scenario.
Now they're facing federal charges of the max sentencing of 25 years in prison and a $5 million fine.
Fun fact: name one other athlete that got charged for insider trading
this year.
In this broad spectrum of 10 to 15 years.
I have honestly no idea.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart?
Yes.
The one that was on house arrest when we were like 10 years old?
Yes. She was a runner.
I'm pretty sure she just did handcrafting materials. She wasn't a runner.
She was running through my mind.
What? What?
She's an Olympian in her mind. In my mind, she's an Olympian. But in all honesty, yeah, she actually got in trouble with insider trading too, which she went to jail for. So expect that these guys are going to go to jail for at least, I think, 5 years.
Yeah. Well, she was house arrest. But Mr. Sonoyki definitely is going to get into more trouble. Michael, we'll see what happens. But and to go back to those text messages I talked about earlier, he pretended like he didn't really know what was going on. He tried to throw Sonoyki under the bus, saying like, I didn't really know anything. He kind of just told me he'd make me money. I trusted him. He had a great background.
Yeah.
But what were those text messages?
These text messages that they released are literally him, Michael, saying, "Yo, bro, what do you think about 80?" And the other guy's like, "Oh, no, man, I'm thinking like 90 is a good jersey number." And it's like, we all know you're talking about call options and the price to buy them, like the strike price. It's literally what you're talking about. You're not talking about
guys, to get caught by first of all, the SEC can track you easily. Honestly, if you even Google insider trading, they probably already have you on your radar. But to actually charge somebody with insider trading, it's very difficult to do. So they investigated these two guys, and Michael basically just told them everything. He told them the text messages, what they meant, everything they ever talked about, and that's how he's being charged right now. So he did come clean.
So, and that's great, I guess, but at the end of the day...
No, he's still in trouble.
In trouble, you did the wrong thing. But this actually brings up a good point in... did the Cleveland Browns know about this? Did the Philadelphia Eagles know about this?
They absolutely did.
And they kept them.
Yeah, they kept them. They knew about it from the beginning of the investigation. So there was clarity between both parties while they were in the organization.
So you're willing to sign someone on that has basically a huge federal, penalty over their head. You're going to give them $3.5 to $5 million, even though this could possibly ruin him and he can go to jail. They're just going to.
It looks bad on the team. And the Browns' response to all this, him being officially charged, was, "Oh, we knew about it, but we're going to release him right now."
Of course, it's easy to do that.
Right?
So then, is there? Since he undermined the integrity of the financial market, does that mean that players like this, given the opportunity to make some more money, could they undermine the integrity of the actual game?
100%. If he did this, look, he just gave $80,000. All right, who knows what Sonoyki told him he could turn that into? But if he got $1.2 million out of it, and he was okay with it for 4 years, and it's money though, right? You got money for it. That's awesome. 1.2 million. These guys are making so much more. He's worth 25 million. That's how much he's accumulating. If he's willing to do that for just that much money, what are other players going to do?
Well, the thing is, he even put his own money into it. He put his own money into it. What if someone from a bookie somewhere goes, hey, you know what? I'm willing to give you $1 million or even $500,000 risk-free. Just throw a couple strikes or throw a couple balls more, and just don't do well. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And this integrity fee that these people, these leagues are pitching to gambling companies and are wanting them to pay for teaching these young people the values of being a good human being and not cheating. It's amazing because it seems like even though you've made $20 million in your career, you're willing to jeopardize all of that for just this much.
Yeah.
So will that integrity fee ever even matter when you have and basically a huge example of this not working? Is it an integrity?
No.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. And just to give a quick recap, in one of our first previous videos, we talked about the integrity fee. And what that basically is that now the leagues, the NFL, NBA, the MLB, they all want every gambling company and state to pay a portion of gambling revenue to those leagues. So Goodell, Silver, and all, they think it's a wonderful idea. All right?
Of course.
And the connection we're trying to make is that, if they're taking money from these companies, gambling, again, like to me and him, just gambling, and they want a portion of that. It's intellectual property. It's going to open doors.
Vegas has been gambling for how long? Tons of years. And they haven't been making an argument about the integrity fee. So why not? Why do they want this fee? I don't know.
Because they want to make money off of it. And they're trying to make it, Chris Christie was all for it. New Jersey wants to do this. They want to pay these integrity fees because they want to get gambling off and running. So, again, is that going to hurt the players? I absolutely think it will, because a bookie's going to come in, or an agent of a big gambling company, somebody, and they're going to give you $1.2 million. And they're like, hey, throw this.
And it's happened. It's happened in soccer before. There's an example of this, a great example in soccer, where there was bookies that fixed a game in Europe, an international friendly, that never happened. They took bets online for a game that actually never happened, which we could do a whole video on that for you guys, because it's amazing how they were able to orchestrate a full game. Like, they were able to have data going in, shots on goal, all this stuff live for their users, and at the end of the day, it never happened. So this happens, and that was I think it was 2012. So it's not too long ago. I mean, it's very easy to throw these games and to fix them, and that's the issue here. And I don't think any amount of money is going to help that. So on that note, SportSpek's out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.